Let's talk some Torah. It's Parshat BeHaalotecha, and in this Torah portion there are many things, including the appointing of the entire tribe of Levi as the religious leadership of the community. They are a larger group than just the priests. The priests are the descendants of Aaron, but Levi is the entire tribe. And the language in chapter 8 of the book of Numbers is very interesting when it comes to how they are appointed. I want to relate this to what's going on in Canada and at the moment in the northeast of the United States, spreading south and west. And I want to bless us all that we should stay healthy, encourage us to make good decisions, including if you have any issues, respiratory issues or physical vulnerabilities, think about wearing a mask, again, just until the particles are enough out of the air that it won't be dangerous. The last 2 days in New York, at least, have been actually very scary. To look at the way the sky was completely yellow-orange in Manhattan yesterday was apocalyptic. Really isn't another word. And having moved from Northern California 5 years ago to here, the intensity of that and what it does to the psyche and to our lungs is very serious. I pray that everyone takes good precautions and that the danger passes and the trees can be replanted. Yes, David, thank you for taking good care of yourself, and a good air filter makes a world of difference. Stay healthy, my friend. Here's the way the Torah speaks about the appointment of the Levites, and I'll make that connection, or I'll try to anyway. Chapter 8, verse 9 of the book of Numbers. You shall bring the Levites forward before the tent of meeting, God says to Moses. Assemble the Israelite community. Excuse me. Assemble the Israelite community leadership and bring the Levites before God. Let the Israelites lay their hands upon the Levites. And let Aaron designate the Levites before God as an elevation offering from the Israelites, that they may perform the service of God. The Levites shall now lay their hands upon the heads of the bulls. One shall be offered to God as a sin offering, and the other as a burnt offering to make expiation, lechaper, for the Levites. You shall place the Levites in attendance upon Aaron and his sons, and designate them as an elevation offering to God. It's powerful if you think about this one successive step at a time. The Israelites lay their hands upon the Levites lay their hands upon the sacrifices, and all of them are called a tnufa, an elevation offering. And that offering itself, some of it is offered completely burnt, a scent to God, an olah offering. And the purpose is lechaper, to stand in place of, to atone for. The thing that is out there as an offering channeled through all of our successive layers of leadership and service and intensity and intimacy with God, offered into the air. If you think about the particles in the air, friends, they're all trees. The trees are in the air. Our trees are in the air. An offering we didn't want to make, but an offering now that lives actually physically in our lungs, in our bodies. The trees are now in us. What do we do? What do we do with that? Someone posted that and it struck me. That these millions of acres and millions of trees, they're now in us. That's what's in the air. That's what we saw in the air yesterday. Changing the very color of the sky. Our trees did that. We did that to our trees. The cycle through which all of this flows. Some of it is natural. There are wildfires that happen, and it's part of how actually forests grow. But this is a destructive kind of fire. And the way that it travels across borders tells us that the world is deeply interconnected, no matter how politically different and divided we might be sometimes. Let's use this model from the Parsha as a way of thinking about this, processing it, responding. The Israelites laid their hands upon the priests laid their hands upon the animals. That was a way of designating service forward. Each one of them named a tenufa offering. Something is in us that wasn't there before. Something was out there that is now in us. We are part of this cycle. We are deeply interconnected with the trees, the life of the trees. What do you do with that, friends? Knowing that it is literally in you now. What do you do? And my suggestion based on this Torah portion is you pay it forward. Their life is now in you. How do you give life back? Today is a day to pay attention to this fragile planet of ours, to see the impact that our industry is having on our soil, on our trees. Somehow the trees are in us. Can we be back into the world? Can we give back to the world? Can we try to replant trees today? Taking good care of ourselves and surviving, that is urgent and essential. What do we do with this wild life we've been given? It's a phrase from Mary Oliver. So friends, with this wild life that is now in us, what will we do? I don't want to make suggestions. I want to ask this question with some deep intensity. This world needs your attention. How will you pay attention? How will you give back to this earth so that the air can be clean once more? Planting trees in Israel is a beautiful idea, Shari. Yes, Deborah, we must find a way to make them a tree of life. I want to make sure that what we respond with is not episodic. Let's do something real and sustained. There's a wonderful organization that UJA is supportive of, and Bob Schloss, who's been in our community for a long time, is a leader of Dayenu. It is a very, very important Jewish environmental organization. Find a way, friends, of getting very involved. We need you. Our trees need you. Our lungs need you. Our earth needs you. Let's respond by placing our hands on the earth and saying, you're ours too. Let's go, friends. Let's have a safe, healthy, beautiful day. Bless you, friends. See you soon.